Let's see. All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome aboard to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of GAR Capital. It is Wednesday, January 17th, 2024, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Glad to be with you again here on the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so. On the road to 10,000. That's what we're going for by the end of the year. We need your help to do that. So again, share these videos, share the channel with anyone you think that would enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get to work. All right, here we are. First thing this morning, markets are down, futures are down. Dow futures down 193 points. The NASDAQ down about 148 points this morning. Right on the bottom, we're going to have all the headlines for you so you can read them, and I'll go ahead and go over them as well. S&P 500 futures 47.67, down about 30 points, down about 0.64%. The Russell at 1908, down about 1.62%. The dollar now 1 month highs, 103.53, up 0.18%. The volatility index, the VIX, up 6.36% at 1472. 10-year treasury yields are up as well, 4.104. Crude oil is down 2.5% at $70.59 a barrel. 207.82 for gasoline futures. That's down about 2%. Gold futures this morning down about a quarter point, 2025. Silver down about 0.90% at 22.88. Copper, $3.74, down about 0.5% this morning. Going into Forex land, excuse me, 108.64 on euro dollar. That's down 13 pips, 147.94. That's up 74 pips for the dollar yen. Dollar Canadian dollar, 135.21. That's up 26 pips, with the pound dollar up 16. Bitcoin futures are down this morning, 1.5% at 42,635. Ethereum at 25.46. That's down nearly 2%. Good morning, everyone. I want to catch my water here. All right, let's go over some of the headlines this morning. Retail sales did come out. This is for December, 0.6% over the 0.3% estimate, previous, excuse me. So nearly double the last reading that we had. 0.4% was the estimate. Core retail sales month over month, excluding autos and gas, 0.4% versus 0.2%. So that's double the expectations. Previous was 0.2%, and so was the estimate. So again, doubled the expectation there on retail sales. Let's go ahead and go over some of the things that I commented on it in regards to retail sales and why it matters. All right, let's get this over here. All right, guys, retail sales and why it matters. Retail sales are up, but stocks are down. Why is that? This is the best retail sales number since September of 2023. Retail sales, again, being better than expected. That's inflationary. That means demand is still strong. So again, more than likely, what this means for the market and why we're down is that we're not going to get that March rate cut, which I didn't think we were going to get anyways. A lot of traders that trade Fed fund futures were pricing in a 50% chance of a March rate hike. But with this kind of retail sales number, guys, it's not going to work out, just for the fact that that's going to spur more inflation if you make money cheaper. So with this good news is bad news for stocks is simply put, this number shows demand is still strong, and this may take away chances of a March cut. That's really it. And that's why we're pulling back for the most part. So it's all price action. No such thing as good news or bad news. Remember that. It's all just news and reaction. So here's some of the things that I pointed out as well regarding the market. So the labor market is strong. We got that with weekly unemployment claims being hovering around 200,000. NFP being very, very strong as well. Over 160,000 to 200,000 points here and there. Retail sales doubled in expectations, and the GDP reading was 5% for the quarter. So in what universe does this kind of economy need stimulation? None. It wouldn't work. So your best bet really here, if you're the Fed, is just to hold, because things are working out right now. And there is an alternative to just buying stocks, even though the Dow was hovering around all-time highs. You could buy bonds, you can have savings accounts, what have you. So really the only reason we would cut rates this year really is because it's an election year. Let's be pragmatic. The cost of interest on the government debt, remember, the government still has to borrow at these rates. So that interest rate payments alone for the year is nearly higher, if not higher, than the defense budget of the United States. I don't know the new budget yet. Again, so lowering rates would also help Treasury refinance current bonds to lower the interest costs. And of course, finally, it's all about PR. It shows that the victory lap is hit and we got some soft landing. That goes to an election year. So getting a rate increase in election year is very rare. Presidents do talk about the Fed. I can't speak for the current president, obviously, but it's a fact. The Federal Reserve is supposed to be independent. That's fair. But again, we know that rate increases affect so much in this economy. So I would not expect an increase, but a cut, yeah, probably is priced in. I don't know how many are people expecting, but March, I think, is just way, way, way too optimistic. I don't know why banks are thinking that. Who knows? Maybe they just want to sell stocks. Fine, fair enough. But that's where we are currently in terms of the market this morning. Let's go over some more headlines. Mortgage applications ending the 12th of January, 10%, up 10.4%, excuse me, versus the 9.9% prior. Apple passes Samsung as world's top phone maker in 2023, according to Bloomberg. Also got some headlines here. Tesla slashes Model Y prices in Europe after China cuts in Germany. It's going to maximize the sell here, guys. Tesla cut the Model Y price by 4.2 to 9.1%. Got some pre-market movers this morning. Tesla down 2.41%. Apple down 1.26%. Coinbase down 2.5%. Ford as well down 2.5%. Intel down 1.42%. Amazon down nearly 1%. We're going to go over that chart here in a second. Netflix is up 0.47%. AMD is green slightly, was up higher earlier. And Microsoft, I know, actually read today, 0.43% this morning. Let's go over some of the questions and comments that we have. Good morning, everybody. So let's go over the PayPal long-term thesis. This is from Gustavo. Let's take a look at it together. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go to the daily chart. We are breaking below here the 50-day. Tough to go ahead go long here on PayPal. You can see we're still holding the 20 weekly. Still just got to hold that. And I think the only thing that will save PayPal moving forward is going to be two things: lower dollar and earnings. Earnings have to be spectacular. So I would not touch it here. Absolutely not. Not yet. Wait till earnings. And then we'll see if it actually justifies the previous move that we had in November, but we're pulling back. What stocks are looking good for options today? So let's go around the options horn, let's just say. 151.71. You see that alert on Amazon. Why do I have that? That is your 20-day moving average. Well, right around 151.69. I still have calls. We need to hold that. We're just wasting time just waiting around for this chop. We are seeing an inverse head and shoulders. Retail sales were great. You would think that would help Amazon, but as of right now, with China with Chinese weakness in the Chinese stock market, seems that that's kind of permeating through the stock market today. And like I've talked about before, Q1 is going to be rather choppy, team. Again, we need earnings to justify this move in November and December. So we're just getting started. It seems like the market really is just going sideways because it doesn't know what to do. Do we justify these lofty valuations? Is this a froth? Or we're very, very early into a new bull cycle? That really just depends. So we saw some of the banks with their earnings decent. JPM did great. Citibank bounced because they had announced layoffs, but nothing really stood out in terms of the earnings. What we're really waiting for is the mega cap tech, the Magnificent Seven that people talk about. Since they're such a big part of the S&P and most of the gains, that those names like NVIDIA and AMD, that's going to be important in terms of what we're looking for. So AMD, Amazon, it is Wednesday. I hate the fact that we're holding this, but again, we just have to be patient. Tesla was a tough hold when we did puts last time. So again, just got to be patient with me, team, on Amazon. Let's see how we open up. We also had DraftKings as well. We were in the money overnight. We were at 34.27 and we pulled back. We still have a gap to fill here at 34.05. We'll be in the money today. It's for March anyways. We still got to get to 35.12 as the gap fill. So we got time. Gustavo says he picked up shares at 51 on PayPal. I didn't see that. Excuse me. Oh, so you're up rather nicely. You do have a gap to fill here right around 52. If you kind of want to make that your stop and just let it ride, that's fine. At least you'll lock in some gains, but that gap to fill from the earnings in November, that's still standing out here on PayPal. So just be careful. All right. I think everyone wants to talk about Tesla. Let's look at it. And Tesla, I have my alert below 210.39. We're at 214. We were on the radio yesterday, actually, funny story, with the team. And we almost shorted Tesla yesterday, but we didn't, thankfully. We did AMD and Apple, which were calls. And AMD was on fire. Apple, we got out perfectly. It was just excellent execution across the board. But back to Tesla. We're going to wait for the alert of 210.39. That'll confirm. And then we can target near 200 to 195. So I still like Tesla all the way down to 180. That's going to be our buy zone. That's what we're looking for. And once we get there, we'll start making, our decisions. But I think we can ride that all the way down. This is short, guys, until we get above the 200-day at 231. I mean, it's just what it is. Now, you can play calls up to there, fair enough. But again, this isn't bullish yet or a buying opportunity yet, really until we get to 180 or we get above the 200-day. That's really it. Tesla puts under 212. Yeah, under 210.34. And then Jeff is asking about DAL puts. DAL puts, I need but below 35.84. That's a 61.8 fib line that I have here on the daily. We're below the 50. We're below the 100. We're below the 200. We're below the 20. So yes, this is bearish, but I need to get below 35.84 and I need some volume. If there's no volume there, Jeff, I can't really trade it again. I don't want to own contracts that no one else wants, regardless of how, the price action goes. So we'll keep an eye on it. Of course, I'll place an alert here at 35.84. I'm also going to be watching for any kind of unusual options activity, of course, as we go along throughout the day. How about Apple puts, sir? That's JJ. All right. Apple puts. For me, we are what now? 181.50. You got the 200-day right there. You got to break below that. That's really the last gasp here, below 180.84. So again, if we look for that level to break down, then we can start taking a look at the 175s, maybe 177 and a quarter or 178 and a quarter, whatever the strike is. But that 200-day looms. So again, we were oversold on Apple. We are oversold on Tesla. So just be careful. Yesterday, Tesla looked very ugly in the morning and it bounced rather quickly. So again, it's a short week. Take your time. No need to push the envelope either. Again, we have our alerts placed up. We have our watch list. So step by step, we'll get where we need to go in terms of options today. But we are pulling back. Can't really ignore that. But we're kind of just holding up in a sense, right above around 47.65 or so. We can always get down to 4,700. That's the lows of January. But we'll take our time. We're starting to see a little bit of a push up higher on NASDAQ as well as Amazon. Amazon should fill this 1 hour gap at 152.19. So again, just stay with me, team. DraftKings also has a gap to fill, 34.06. Again, I asked for patience from my team. We know what it is. 11 in a row. Again, Amazon is not dead. I know it looks like crap right now, but man, this is just the name of the game. And I know I said specifically that, we're going to try to change our strategy in terms of, holding things for a long time. Unfortunately, this is just chop. It's not like we broke any kind of meaningful levels. We're holding above the 20-day. It's just that we're running out of time because we had the Monday holiday. What we had changed from the previous for that trade on Amazon, what could we have done better? We could have put in a lower strike, maybe bought some more time. But at that time, we were getting that break above 157.17, and we were just riding the wave, just like we did on AMD yesterday. So it's kind of like, damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Because yesterday on this push, first thing in the morning when we got in, we had the 155 calls. We could just wait forever for the perfect entry, which doesn't exist. This could have easily flipped yesterday, like the way Amazon did that day that we got in. So it's one of those, you're hoping for continuation. Obviously, chop is your worst enemy, and that's really all you need to really see it. But in terms of AMD, I know everyone is very interested in that. If you guys have runners, I do. 164.46, there is no resistance until the all-time high. So I fully expect 165 level to have tons of volume. Just be careful. Just be careful. How overbought is this stock? This has actually been a better performer than NVIDIA in the last couple of months. So that should tell you all you need to know. And of course, we've been riding that train the whole time. So let's look at the RSI. We're at 72. We're above 70. Right at all-time highs at 164.62, guys. that's where it's going to pull back more than likely. Now, again, that didn't happen to NVIDIA. That didn't happen to Microsoft. But I fully expect with this kind of parabolic move, this kind of breakout right around that all-time high, that's where you probably want to take a little bit of profits, which is fair if you've been holding. We did a swing trade. Well, really was the investment club. We told you guys on AMD back in August, bouncing off the 100 DMA. This was at 111.98. So at all-time highs, team, for investment club, take your profits if you want. If you did a swing trade, I'm just trying to help the investment club guys that our portfolios are flush. You know, they're feeling great. The fact is that they want to kind of do some swing trading. So AMD was a good one. Congratulations to investment club for that catch. Again, you still got to all-time highs to go. Netflix seems to be holding well pre-market. Yeah, that's up this morning. Let's see what else we got. I think we got the ticker down there. But that's a little old. All right, so that's where we are this morning. If there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and get started on our day. I went ahead and added a neat feature where I'm on the computer and my dictation when I speak will be showing up as a bot on Discord. So it's just going to help me type. The reason I say that is because I was on the radio yesterday morning and we did AMD live. But just want to really reiterate this point to everybody, guys. I want everybody that's on the server, that's Premier Masterclass, to keep an eye on watches and charts, because before we sent the AMD calls, we sent the calls right around 9:45. At 9:40 in the morning, I tagged everybody. I said, AMD, keep an eye at the 155 calls for this week expiry. We need to break above the day's highs of 153.02. Once we broke it, alert triggered. So again, I'm going to give you guys the heads up when I can as we go along, but take your time. There's no need to rush today. Again, right now we're pulling back, yes, but for the most part, we're just going to keep an eye on things. Let's see how this open goes. We got a lot to go, and let's have some fun doing it. 11 trade win streak. Not much more I could say about that. I'm very proud of that. The only thing I'm thinking about is which is number 12. What's going to be the next one? And we'll just keep it running because 2024 so far has been absolutely excellent. And with that being said, guys, have a great rest of your morning. I will see you guys tomorrow for the next morning note. And I'll see you guys on the server. Cheers all.